Maybe we'll just do a conversation where we just talk about Star Trek and science fiction for an hour.
Oh my God, that's so good. That's so good. There was a really excellent episode of Movement Memos. It's a podcast about like social movement. And it was on Deep Space Nine, and
Mhm.
they were talking about how um, you know, it's considered kind of an outlier in the franchise, but it really dealt so much head on with politics and religion in a way that
Mhm.
Star Trek never did before.
Yeah,
And it
yeah.
was just really fascinating to listen to it. And I'm like, I'm gonna have to go back and watch Deep Space Nine. Because I've been watching all of these like zombie things. So like, did you watch The Last of Us?
Last of Us. No.
The zombie thing with Pedro Pascal?
No, that's a zombie movie?
Oh my God, it's not a movie, it's a series, and you better get on it. It's on Max. Get on it.
Okay.
The
Okay.
Last of
So
Us.
I watched the first episode of Yellow Jackets because it's free on Prime. And I'm trying to decide,
Yes.
I'm trying to decide if I want to invest like a subscription because I'm just like, oh, this is really creepy good.
It's so creepy good. Okay, let me tell you the workaround on that. Okay. So it's right now, the first season is on Netflix too.
Okay.
Um, so you can get it there. But what I did was I got a Paramount Plus subscription because I wanted to watch all the new Star Treks.
Yeah.
At Paramount Plus, you can get Showtime content on Paramount Plus.
Oh, okay. So Star Trek Strange New Worlds, we haven't even gotten into that, but I love that show.
Oh my God, I
That,
love that show. The musical episode was so good.
oh my gosh, it was so fun. And it reminded me why I love science fiction. It was
Yes,
so good.
yes.
It was so good.
So good.
But my parent, like,
So
we
good.
were all like, family and I, we had all like gotten all these different subscriptions. And so we were just like cutting
Yeah.
subscriptions. So I haven't gotten to watch
Yes.
past season 2 on Star Trek Strange New Worlds, but
Yeah.
I'm like, I might just have to like
Hmm.
do a month and just like binge a bunch of
Yeah.
stuff.
Binge it. Yeah. No, you're gonna want to because I'm telling you, once you get into Yellow Jackets, you can't be going week to week. It kills me to go week to week on that show. So binge it, quit it, binge it, quit it. That's how you have
Yes.
to. I'm dying right now with Agatha All Along on Disney. Like I'm all into
Oh,
Agatha on
oh, I know.
Disney, and oh my
I think
God,
about that. I think
yeah,
about
I'm
that
on a
phrase all the
membership.
time when because I'm like talking about some stupid crap or whatever, and I'm like, well, because it was Agatha all along, and that's why it's the way it is.
I have a cross stitch of that. I have a cross stitch pattern of that I haven't done yet, and I'm thinking about getting the thread before my knee surgery because it's of her in the 80s exercise suit, where she's wearing the leotard and stuff
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the leg warmers, and it's her in that pose where she was sitting in that little nook, like
Oh, yeah, yeah,
kind of
yeah, yeah,
posed like this,
yeah.
reclining, and then it says it was Agatha all along, like in the Agatha script or whatever,
Oh, I love it.
to make that.
Yes,
It's
yes,
so good. And the new show is like, what? But no, Yellow Jacket.
yeah, yeah.
I love
Okay,
Yellow
so The
Jacket.
Last of Us.
And it's gonna come back. They're writing but The Last of Us you have to watch because that's based on a video game.
Okay, okay,
And it's zombies, but it's Pedro Pascal
okay.
and what's her name that was in Game of Thrones? Did you watch Game of Thrones?
Some like I'm not as familiar with it.
Yeah, 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 yeah. She was the boss in Game of Thrones too. She was like this little tiny uh leader who was like swearing like part of the North or whatever, and she was like 10 and just a total boss. And now she's like a teenager or a 20 something
Yeah,
and
yeah,
she's a
yeah, yeah.
total boss on The Last of Us. But
Okay,
It's
okay,
so good. Oh my god, you
okay,
gotta watch The
okay,
Last of Us and report
okay.
back.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Will do.
It's so good.
All right.
I
Well,
watched all The Walking Dead, and I was driving people crazy with all my Walking Dead commentary for months. I was like, "There's so many lessons about organizing in this. There's so many lessons."
equipment for living. You can find it anywhere. Look, I just finally managed to watch before we canceled Netflix. I finally managed to finish the first season of Stranger Things. Like, what, after the whole show is done?
Oh,
Casey, I am so behind. I am so behind on so many things.
you have to catch up on Stranger Things. It is so great, and there's so many good Easter eggs in it. And I'm thinking like season 4 you're gonna love, but season 3 is awesome, and season 2 is fun. And just like as an exploration of the genres,
Yeah.
those guys are so freaking smart. So
Okay.
smart.
Yeah. 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 Well, I
But they
love.
get to like but Freddy Krueger makes an appearance in the 4th season. He's a character. He plays a character. What's his name? Robert, whatever his name is. He's
Yes.
in the show, and they embed little cameo gifs like that all the time. It's so great.
Oh my gosh. Mhm.
Love Stranger
Okay.
Things.
All right. All right. Next time we talk, I will have
So
at
good.
least
You've
one of the
got homework
shows.
now.
I'll have one of them.
Stop stop reading so much. You read too much.
Yes, that's the best advice I've ever gotten, Casey. Thank you.
You need to receive the content. Oh my god.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. All right. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for spending time with us today. I hope you found something that resonated with you and that helps you become more hopeful, creative, and wise in your own life. Please share this with someone who you think would love this conversation and like, subscribe, and leave a comment or a review to boost the show. Shalom.